Imagine a massive chessboard with nations as pawns and strong players, many of whom are hidden moving about. In the realm of global politics, attention is currently focused on West Africa, where a complex web of interests is being revealed. At the heart of this is the Economic Community of West African States, or ECOWAS. On paper, this group supports political stability and economic integration amongst its 15 member nations. However, the truth? Where local aspirations meet international power struggles, it's more akin to walking a tightrope across a complicated web of interests. Let's now address the topic of most importance, the impact of the West on Africa. A story as old as time, or at least as old as colonial times, is this one. European nations have a lengthy history of controlling several African countries. Even when overt colonialism is no longer practiced, the shadow of outside influence remains strong. Let us introduce the European Union, a formidable force in international affairs, whose interests in Africa encompass both security and economic aspects. You would wonder, though, why Niger? Well, Niger, a country that is landlocked and has been attempting to negotiate these rough seas. Although it has an abundance of natural resources, such as oil and uranium, it faces difficulties with poverty and security. Recent threats against Niger by the EU? The reasons behind them are as intricate as the political chess game itself. They resemble a storm that is about to blow. In response to these challenges, ECOWAS has adopted a cautious balancing act akin to a dance. They must, on the one hand, uphold regional unity and assist Niger, a member state. However, they are also conscious of how strongly European influence may affect political and economic choices. Let's get closer now. The EU's threats, which mainly concerned governance, human rights, and migration management, served as a wake-up call to Niger, a kind of shape up or ship out message. Niger's response? It combines diplomacy and disobedience. Although the administration has taken a tough stand, there is a pressing need to resolve the issues brought up by the EU. The state of public, similar like gazing into a crystal ball, the opportunities seem limitless, but the way forward is unclear. Will ECOWAS reject pressure from the West and stick with Niger? Or will they yield, admitting the power of the European Union's sway? What about Niger, too? Will they be able to reconcile their sovereignty with the concerns of the EU and find a middle ground? To sum up, this goes beyond just a local problem. It's a mirror of the continuous fight for equilibrium in world politics, as smaller countries are frequently caught in the crossfire of more powerful countries. The way the situation in Niger develops will be a key indicator for the future of African autonomy and how groups like ECOWAS respond to or cooperate with Western interests. We have therefore depicted ECOWAS, Western dominance, and the latest arm-twisting of Niger by the EU. But hold on, France is another important character in this tale. France, a country with a long history connected to Africa, particularly through its former colonies. For many years, Niger has piqued French attention due to its abundant natural riches. The French occupation of Niger is a two-edged sword. First, there is the economic dimension, which mostly concerns uranium. A vital supply source for France's nuclear energy industry is the uranium mines in Niger. This is a fundamental component of France's energy policy, not just a means of keeping the lights on in Paris. However, this reliance on uranium from Niger is not without controversy of its own, ranging from discussions about fair economic rewards for Niger to environmental issues. And there's the aspect of security. France has taken a leading role in counter-terrorism operations in the Sahel, which includes Niger. Although this military presence raises concerns about sovereignty and long-term dependency, it is also sometimes considered as a necessary evil that aids in the fight against terrorist groups. Let's now explore the natural wonders of Niger. This nation is essentially sitting on a gold mine. It's not just about uranium. Resources of Niger include coal, oil, gold, and other minerals. The shocking thing is that Niger continues to rank among the world's poorest nations despite all of this wealth. This situation exemplifies the resource curse, in which an abundance of natural resources has not resulted in broad prosperity. Utilizing these resources has been a controversial topic. The involvement of foreign governments and multinational corporations, such as France, is significant and frequently sparks discussions about fair wealth distribution and neo-colonial exploitation. Managing these resources is like walking a tightrope for Niger, since it requires striking a balance between the increasing need for local benefits and environmental protection and the necessity for foreign investment and expertise. Getting back to the larger picture, there is a complicated web of relationships between Niger, France, and the EU. As a member of the EU, France has a big say in how the Union approaches Africa. Thus, when the EU raises its voice, it's not simply Brussels that does so. Paris is frequently heard as well. The question now is, how will Niger get through these rough seas? Will it be able to use its natural riches to gain further independence and progress? Or will it stay knotted up in the strings of outside forces? In this, ECOWAS plays a critical role. This regional organization has the capacity to serve as more than just a vehicle for political cooperation. It may also serve as a shield against outside influences, a forum for collective bargaining, and an engine for regional growth. However, in order for it to occur, ECOWAS must change, becoming more unified and self-assured. This is ultimately a narrative about more than just Niger or the ECOWAS. It tells the story of Africa's journey towards self-determination in the 21st century, a time when new dynamics are forming and old patterns of influence are being questioned. Remember this as we follow this story. It's about more than simply petty politics and self-serving business interests. It's about the people of Niger and their dreams of a time when their wealth will work to their advantage rather than against them, and they will control their own fate. That concludes our in-depth exploration of the intricate realm of politics in West Africa, where the stakes are as high as the aspirations of the participating countries. Please remember to use the like button if you found this exploration of the complex worlds of power, resources, and international politics to be insightful. You won't believe how much it helps. Have any ideas, reflections, or queries regarding the subject of today? I would adore hearing them. Please leave a comment below so that we can continue the discussion. Your viewpoint gives this continuing story a priceless depth. And please think about subscribing if you haven't done so before. We provide you with information that delves deeply into important stories and global challenges, making it more than merely educational. Lastly, send this movie to friends, relatives, or anybody else you think will benefit from a better grasp of ECOWAS, Niger's predicament, and the complex dance of international relations in Africa. Every sharing adds to the conversation and increases the number of voices participating. For now, that is all. We'll continue to examine the stories that influence our world in the upcoming video, which I hope you will see. In the interim, maintain your curiosity, your knowledge, and your desire to comprehend the universe more fully.